Hello YouTube, my name is Myles Anderson. I'm a professional joke explainer, and today I'm explaining the jokes of Russell Brand, one of the best comedians working today.
At the beginning of the pandemic, you will recall that xenophobia was very much in play, and it took the form, an interesting form, I'd say, of a simple prefix.
So already he's doing kind of a funny accent off the top, which is very funny.
A simple prefix was where we was introduced to xenophobia during the pandemic. I noticed it first with the use of the word wet in front of the word market. Right? Because who don't love a market? A market is a place of great joy and pleasure, isn't it? The market. Oh, down the market. What's your favourite market? You got good markets in Liverpool, haven't you? Love it down the market. Going down the market. I'm from Essex. We love the market. The market's like an outdoor cathedral. It's a bazaar. It's a souk. It's a place of trading. It's a place of life. Going down the market. Pair of Gola trainers. 20 quid down the market. Love it. Fruit and veg stand, geezer doing this with a brown paper bag, twiddling that round. Oh, fucking hell, you're a working class hero, mate. Will you be my new dad?
Very funny accent.
Market, joyful place. But if you put the word wet in front of the word market, what the hell's going on down there? What is a wet market? That sounds disgusting. Yeah.
So the premise here is that a wet market sounds way more gross. A regular market is a desirable place to visit.
You know where this coronavirus come from, didn't you? Down the wet market. Now, that's what's caused it. Now they're down the wet market. They're different than us over there. They've got wet markets. What do you eat? Domino's, Burger King, McDonald's, fish and chips, stuff like that? Not these. They're down the wet market, eating bats all covered in guzzling it down, crunching up little bat heads with all coming down the neck, they're guzzling, smoking a fag while squatting, eating a bat all covered. It's going to cause a pandemic, isn't it? If you're eating a bat.
Sort of really hard for me to understand the exact dialect that he's speaking here. Sometimes I think he goes sort of in and out of a different language.
All smothered in bat wing going in your mouth like that down there, guzzling it down the wet market, all slop and gunk all over the floor, all bat dribbling down here. It's going to cause a coronavirus pandemic. That's where it's come from, them down the wet market. Yeah, but what? Well, it's just over here, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where they're doing gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses, where they're deliberately...
Oh, so this joke is sort of about the origin of the COVID-19 virus, which is a super funny premise.
Making bat coronaviruses more infectious. I mean, it's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it, that there is a Wuhan Institute of Virology where they're making bat coronaviruses more infectious, and that is the place where this pandemic started? Is it more than just a coincidence? Listen, they've got bats. They are smothered in.
So it's really interesting to see how he takes this premise, which you know, a comedian that's not very good might just say, you know, that it's a funny coincidence that the Wuhan viral lab is so close to the wet market, and they blame the wet market. It's kind of a short premise for a joke, but he really stretches it out. You know, he really gets into it and he crouches and does a bunch of voices and act outs and really makes this material stretch a long way, which is all the best comedians can do. They can take one joke and just make it run for hours and hours. Unlimited entertainment. He's one of the best.
They've got these little bamboo cages with armadillo things in them, and they ain't got a shell on. They're eating that as well. Slimy little fish with their eyes on their top. They're guzzling that down. There's going down their necks. They're crunching up the little bat. It's all foaming back, all coming out of their mouth. There's everywhere up the wall. They're skidding about in that stuff. No, but isn't it at least possible that it came from this laboratory?
That's an interesting cut there. It kind of cut back to a different comedy show and then cut back to this one.
We're DARPA, an American firm are proven to invest where the files from January 2019 were mysteriously deleted. Isn't it at least worth considering if even by accident it's possible that there was some sort of accident at that laboratory? Listen! How much f***ing on a f***ing bet do you need before you start understanding science?
All right, I think that was the whole bit there. So, very simple premise for a joke and a punchline, stretched out to almost 4 minutes. I think a lot of up-and-coming comedians should understand and take notes that it's so important to get as much material as possible or as much time as possible out of a simple premise so that you can then monetize it a lot easier. So he's very smart this way. He did the crouching bat cover with cum act out for a very long time. And sometimes when you do things longer, it's just funnier. So great clip from Russell Brand here. This is back when he used to do stand-up. I think he mostly is he's a medical doctor and virologist now. If you look up his YouTube channels, he's got a lot of really great opinions about the origin of COVID and vaccines and stuff like that. So feel free to check out that stuff. I've got another clip here I'm gonna check out. All right, I've got the first 3 minutes of Russell Brand's stand-up special, Brandemic, which is a really funny name for a special because it combines his last name with pandemic to make Brandemic. Very clever use of words. Got the epic backstage shots with, I think that's Vivaldi's Winter.
I'm so happy to be here with you. I love you. I love your city. I love you lot already. I love you. We're going to have such a lovely night. Thanks for coming. Sorry I'm late. Sorry for doing a show at 6 o'clock and then turning up late for it. It's annoying, isn't it, to have a show at 6 o'clock? Who does a show at 6 o'clock in the evening? Yeah, me. That's who does a show at 6 o'clock. Don't drink, don't take drugs, won't be hanging around to have sex with anyone. Might as well go home and go to bed. It's been a week.
That's kind of funny that he would say not going to hang around to have sex with anyone because he sort of built a whole career on the joke that he would have sex with everybody. So I guess he's a bit different now.
Weird couple of years. Let's track it for a bit. Let's try to remember if we can. The beginning bit of the pandemic. Try and remember this.
Very funny. Very
it.
funny accent.
The beginning bit, it was like really nice. And like the weather was all lovely. It was about a month where it was like a free holiday. And it was absolutely fantastic. And I don't know if I dreamt this or not, but I feel like all animals were like coming into the town. And like squirrels.
Such a funny sounding guy.
The garage and stuff. Like nature re-emerged triumphant. And I thought this is going to be beautiful. This is an opportunity for us to review the way we organise society. This is an attempt to connect with one another. After all, isn't the point of these lockdowns the sanctity of life? We acknowledge that all life is sacred and we must do everything we can to protect one another.
Funny sounding accent.
This is a brilliant re-evaluation. That spirit didn't last that long, did it? Started to feel a bit divisive, a bit manipulative, a bit wearying. Do you remember the various stations on the cross of our march towards where we stand today? What about the bit, like, do you remember, like, the first time, for example, that you heard the word furlough? Do you remember that, when you heard furlough? It's just nothing, you never heard that before, had you, furlough? What the fuck's furlough? What's that, an agricultural
Funny word,
term?
furlough.
It's something you do with your brow? No. What furlough is in the case of most jobs, it don't matter if you don't go in. What? I thought you meant to go to work. No, it don't matter. Just stay at home and be in a Zoom meeting drinking wine out of a coffee cup. order living all day. Don't make no difference. Wow, I thought our entire system was predicated on the need for labour, the requirement for us...
Furlough. So that's kind of a funny image, drinking wine and jerking off all day long. So that's kind of just a visual bit there.
To work, I thought our system was held together with our toil. That's so interesting. Well, you're right to a point, Russell, because, of course, some people, their work is so vital and important that they had to go to work throughout the pandemic. Oh, I understand. So they would be the most important and therefore most highly paid jobs. No! They're the worst paid jobs! Woo! Hell, fantastic system you got there. Don't...
So the joke here is that he's just sort of criticizing the inherent injustice of the capitalist system.
Don't go tinkering with that. Don't go the details on something that refined.
Very, very funny sounding guy. I think a lot of the material here, I mean, the joke there was that capitalism is unfair. But I think a lot of it hinges on just the very, very funny accent that he's really playing up for the crowd, and they absolutely love it. He's definitely one of the best. He's having a lot of legal trouble right now. I'm not sure for what, but definitely check out his stand-up online. He's very philosophical. He's got a lot of controversial, sometimes opinions, but a lot of people really follow him and listen to everything he says and try to live their lives based on his stand-up comedy. So check him out. He's on all online platforms, and you can go see him live, apparently at 6 p.m., which is really great. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. We're going to be doing more in the future. I've been Myles Anderson, and thanks for watching.